Can I have your attention, please? Before the group splits up, I just want to. Uh, I prepared a few words to say. Well, you could say a few, but it's really 5 pages worth of words. But I'm going to be editing this as I go along, though. Well, first of all, on behalf of Jean and the kids, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us to celebrate this milestone. Sometime late last year, I asked Jean how she wanted to celebrate her golden birthday. And basically, I asked her point blank, are you okay announcing to the world that you've turned 50? What I got was silence. But I told her if we're going to have this big celebration, everybody has to know what the special occasion is. And it was silent, so I wasn't sure. But then in a separate conversation, she told me that she also wanted to go on a pilgrimage with the family to Rome for her birthday. So I thought that was it. So in lieu of a party, we'll go to Rome. Okay, so months later, just before our trip to Rome, she mentioned to me that she actually wanted a party. And I said, so I guess the silence that I got months ago was meant yes. And but then I asked, so what about our trip to Rome? And she said, oh, that's my birthday present. The party is another thing. So of course, how dumb could I be? And not only that, not only does she want a party, and she wanted a surprise party. She told me, surprise me. And I said, so do you know how hard it is to surprise anyone who's expecting a surprise? Anyway, fast forward to today. I hope you're surprised, and I think you are. So, yeah. So since this was going to be a surprise, she couldn't help me make the arrangements, and I'm not really good at organizing a party. And oh, thank you. Yeah. So I turned to the kids, Marianne. She told me she's no party organizer either, but she was a big help, and I got some advice from Chris. Where's Chris? Yeah. Advice and encouragement from Chris. So really, coming up with a guest list was most challenging for me. I didn't want it to be too big, and at the same time, I didn't want it to be too small. So, and I couldn't ask Jean for her help because she's not supposed to know about it. So I decided on this criteria, seniority. By this, wait, I'll explain. I didn't, but by this really, seniority, I don't mean biological age. By this I mean longevity. How long have we known you? We have we have to know you for at least 10 years. So that's my criteria. And what this did though was to disqualify a substantial number of our local friends that we typically hang out with these days, but then we recently met them, so they're disqualified for this party. But then again, I thought that would be good actually, because as part of the surprise, they would be the first people who Jean would think that I would invite to this party, and I didn't. So that's part of the surprise actually. So. Although, unfortunately, a number of the invitees that met my criteria are out of state. So I just have to keep my fingers crossed that I'm going to have enough enough people to show up, and I think I'm very happy with the turnout, and thank you very much again for coming. So with regards to this guest list then, so on top of my guest list were, of course, Mama and Papa were here. When you think about must-haves and nice-to-haves, they are number one must-have. They have to be here. So they were really key. After I got them to commit, I breathed a sigh of relief because I know it's going to be special for Jean, even if everything else goes awry, as long as Mama and Papa are here. And having Jojo here is an added bonus. Jean has 3 brothers, and although she doesn't say it, it is quite obvious to me that Jojo is her favorite. I think that's true. So Arnel and Bong, I know you're listening, but I'm sorry to say that it's Jojo's who's the favorite. Jean loves you still, though, but Jojo is the favorite. So next in seniority would be Mr. Batad over there. Where's Mr. Batad? There. Yeah, Joseph, who's here with his wife Tess, was my high school classmate. So our high school batch is celebrating our 30th year jubilee this year. So it's been 30 years. So I probably knew Joseph for 34 years now. So we sort of, although both of us went to the same college, we saw each other in college, we sort of lost contact until maybe around 15 years ago when they settled in Connecticut. So since then, we've kept close contact. And by the way, if anybody here is interested in watching the Phil-Am stand-up comic Rex Navarrete, tickets.
I'm not Rex Navarrete, I'm selling tickets.
Rex Navarrete is Phil-Am Comics going to perform in New Haven on Friday, right?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and Joseph and Tess are active in this Filipino-American organization that's sponsoring the show. So, anyway.
Thanks for this.
So, so that's my plug. So next to Joseph, I think Mina, you're next in seniority.
Not in age.
So I knew Joseph since college. I knew since high school. I knew Mina since college at the University of the Philippines.
I'm not your batchmate.
Yeah. I know you're younger than me. She also became our neighbor in Jersey City for a while. Mina is Ball State University alumna. My quiz to all of you now. What is the likelihood that there is more than one Ball State alum in this room today?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's more than one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who went to Ball State?
Mr. Lombridas here. Edwin.
That's right.
Edwin, actually, aside from Mina, Edwin also has a BS degree, a Ball State degree. Actually, if you really think about it, it could have been 3. Before I went to UConn, I actually got admitted at Ball State in the actuarial program, but I would have gone there if not for lack of lack of financial aid. Yeah, but then I wouldn't have met Jean, and that's Anyway, so I'm just going down the list of seniority here. So it's Joseph, Minay. Then we have our friends from UConn. UConn is very memorable for Jean and me because that's where we met, and that's where we fell in love. Where's the romantic background music after I fell in love? Yeah. So.
Bartholdi after, yeah.
Yeah. So where am I now in my...
Fall in love.
Yeah. Fall in love, yeah. My mind went elsewhere when I said fall in love, that's why. Yeah, I got distracted. Yeah. So, yeah. So to me, I really feel that it was fate that brought us together.
Wow.
That's said in one of Mel Brooks' songs. Where's Marian? Mel Brooks' songs. We were fated to be mated. That was one of the. And so, of course, UConn is also memorable to us because we met a number of friendships that we had at UConn. So after Ball State, no, Edwin, where's Edwin?
Right here.
I thought she was there. Edwin went for his doctorate at UConn, so we met him, and we have this group of Filipino graduate students at UConn, and Edwin's dorm room sort of became our headquarters, and yeah, and Edwin also cooks. We eat meals together, and Edwin is sort of like our head chef, and he has all the cooking stuff at his room, and yeah, it was fun times. And one other fun memory that I have when we were at UConn was the movie nights at Edwin's room. These were the days of VHS and VCR, VHS tapes and VCR, not even DVDs. And Edwin had the VCR in his room. So as far back as this was maybe 20 years ago. So I remember after dinner, we would walk to TCBY for dessert, go to the video rental store, and then get a movie. And that was fun. It's nice. Wait. So one of my memories, Edwin's room. Where's Willie? Oh, Willie's here. Willie got to UConn, it's part of our UConn group, but got to UConn after Jen and I left, so I don't really have much stories to tell about Willie. But Willie is just actually one of the number of other UConn grads who came after Filipino UConn students who came after us, but we got to know them. I actually invited a number of other of our UConn friends like Maricar and Myrene. They weren't able to make it, so yeah, Sel also, yeah. But anyway, so after Willie, where's Chris? Chris, yeah, that's also part of our group at UConn. Her calm. I just read this because I describe you. Your calm and pleasant demeanor set you apart, and you were good friends to everyone, and that's my memory of you. And in fact, we were such good friends that I even spent a few nights in your dorm room.
You did?
Wait, I spent a few nights in your dorm room, but without you in it. Of course. Yeah, I actually, well, the story here is that I went for my internship at New York City, and I went back to UConn, and the dorm wouldn't let me check in yet. And luckily, Chris spent the summer at UConn, and she has her dorm room there, and she was away that week visiting her sister, so she was nice enough to allow me to crash into her room and spend a few nights there. Oh, yeah. And another classic Chris memory that I have from UConn is that creepy Alfred Hitchcock greeting in your answering machine. Anybody of you remember that? You remember that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's one of these. Whenever you call Chris, the answering machine will answer, and then you'll hear this voice from Alfred Hitchcock, and then saying, "Please leave." Please leave a message after this brief interruption. And there's woman screaming, "Ah!" Yeah. First time I heard it, I was too stunned to leave a message. I already forgot what message I was supposed to leave her. But yeah, it's one of those things that even after 22 years, I still remember that greeting word for word. Yeah, so Chris, and then another of our UConn friends, Rose. Where's Rose? Oh, Rose. There's Rose by any other name. Well, actually, she has another name. Yeah. when we usually when we were at UConn, we went to church together, and then one day the priest saw our group, and then somehow just assumed that Rose here was our mother superior, who brought us to church. So since that time on, the name stuck. So I still call her mother up to now. And by the way, belated Happy Mother's Day. So.
They still do, really.
Yeah, and where are the Rosians? Oh, there. Carolyn was also with us at UConn. And so is Joel, her husband Joel. And here in this party, we also have Joey and Katie. Joey and Katie over there. Joey just finished his freshman year at UConn, right? So second generation UConn grad in a few years. So. Just like Jean and me, Joel and Carol met and fell in love at UConn. Is that right? Well, actually, while at UConn, I thought Jean and Carol here were BFFs.
Yes.
Were you? It seemed like you hang out together a lot. In fact, Carol, Jean told me that you went on an Opus Dei retreat with her one time. And that's I'm really impressed because nobody else went with Jean. She couldn't convince anybody else to go with her. So anyway, Carol, Jean still goes there. If you want, just let her know if you want to do it again, and for old time's sake.
She has the time now. She has the Saturday.
Yeah, for old time's sake. Yeah. And now.
You can email her.
Thank you, Emil.
And now if Joel. Hey, and if Joel wants to go with me to the men's retreat, you're welcome to let me know too. So just let us know. So where's Greg? Oh, Greg is over there. He's slightly younger than us because we were when we were grad students. He was an undergraduate at UConn, but we were classmates in some courses. So Jean and I bonded well with him. And in fact, when we got married, Greg was my best man. So
Also mentioned during classes, I sat between the two of you while you were thinking of being mated.
yes. That was before we fell in love. Yeah. So actually, Greg's wife, Kathy, just gave birth to a baby girl about 2 weeks ago, so she couldn't make it here today. So congratulations again, Greg. I know you adore your son, Oliver, but a daughter brings adorable to another level. I hope, I'm sure you already realized that after 2 weeks. And when I mentioned this party to Greg, he committed to coming right away, the birth of his daughter notwithstanding. So, malakas talaga si Jean kay Greg. Translated in English, Jean is really strong with Greg. Yeah, for the benefit of those who don't understand. Yeah, and going back to the UConn connection, there were also those who got to UConn before Jean and I did, and we got to know them just the same, just the same. And where's Emil? Emil. Yeah. Well, and Emil also went to the University of the Philippines, but I never really got to know him there. You met him there. But for me, I just caught up when we got to UConn. At that time, Emil was already working in Hartford, but he spent a lot of time on campus while studying for his actuarial exam, so we got to know him better. And he must really like the campus, though, because after detours in Wisconsin, Singapore, and Australia, he's back at UConn as a professor. So, yeah, professor of actuarial science. And Emil, Jean and I are still grateful to you for letting us use your Honda Civic when we were to get our driver's license at the Willimantic DMV years ago. if not for if
Maybe I
it's
can
not
send you a bill now.
if not for your car,
Found it.
what would have happened to us? Driver's license are very important here. So we will never forget that car.
I forgot about it, but that's good. I remember.
And then another of those who got to Yukon before Jean and I did, and we never got to spend time with them there, but got to know them after, was Gloria. Where's Gloria? Gloria is here with her sister Pat, and with Gloria, I feel we live parallel lives, Gloria. Actually, it seems like I'm a pesky brother who's following her around wherever she goes. Gloria graduated from UP. I graduated from UP shortly after that. And then Gloria taught math at UP. Then I taught math at UP shortly after that. She went to Yukon. I went to Yukon shortly after. She found a job at Guardian Life.
Don't forget the apartment in Jersey City.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. She found a job at Guardian Life. Then I worked at Guardian Life shortly after, and she lived in Jersey City. I moved to her Jersey City neighborhood shortly after that. And then she left Guardian to work for New York Life. Guess what did I do? I left Guardian to work for New York Life too. So, and then she left New York Life and soon ended up working in Connecticut. I stayed in New York Life, but soon ended up working in Connecticut anyway. The business that I was in was sold to Aetna, so I moved to Connecticut. Then a few years later, she started working for the Hartford. Then the Hartford hired me shortly after. So she since left the Hartford. I'm still at the Hartford, but I'm not sure. Maybe given their track record, I might be following you again. So that's the Yukon connection. Next, the Whitings. The Whitings, or Mr. and Mrs. Whiting, John and Carol. Our next door neighbor. So we've known you for about 12 years. We've been in our home for 12 years, and they are the best neighbors, I tell you. All of you should have a neighbor like the Whitings. When Jean had her surgery in New York City 3 years ago, Carol volunteered to drive us to New York City and back, just so I could just focus on having Jean comfortable during the trip, before and after surgery. So that's really very grateful. We're very grateful. And apart from that, we've also been recipients of countless acts of kindness through the years from the Whitings. When Jean was sick, we need the kids to be driven to their activities. Carol again volunteered to drive them. So it's, I really want you to be here to celebrate with us because you've been a great part of our lives. Thank you again. And then, as most of you know, Jean is a committed member of Opus Dei. So I have to have Opus Dei representation in this party. So I'm glad to have Vicky.
Where are you going?
Vicky, Diana, and Marga. Where's Marga? Oh, there's Marga. Yeah. And I don't even care if I've known you for 10 years.
Only
You
10?
have...
Only 10, since we were...
Oh, so you've known Marga for
Yeah.
10 years, but not Vicky and Diana. Yeah, but I don't care. I didn't even count the years. I didn't ask because you need to be here for this special occasion. It means a lot to Jean. Because what's most important to Jean are as follows. Number one, God, her children, Opus Dei, then me. In that order. And that's on a good day. That's on a good day. On a bad day, I can't even crack the top 20. And do you know that we had to take a break in the middle of our honeymoon to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral for the Founders' Mass? I mean, this was our honeymoon. I was on a roll. Did we really need to take that break? But we did. So, anyway, Vicky, Marga, and Diana, we're so glad that you could make it here. They had to drive all the way from New Rochelle, New York, so it's quite a drive. And I think I've covered everyone. Was anybody here that I haven't covered? Oh, John Paul. So John Paul, do you want to take over the microphone here and say something about your mama?
Yeah, go.
Anyway, again, thank you. I'm so glad that everything seemed to have worked out greatly for this party. Jean was surprised, and that's what she wanted. And would you want to come over and?
After that long speech, I just wanted to say thank you for coming.
Yeah, and we have this place for another 15 minutes, so I'm not saying that you go now, but we could stay for the rest of the time. Yeah. Thank you again.
If I could linger on a moment of my life, if I could guide a hurricane, if I could dance out in the rain, if I could whistle a melody of pain, I'd live my life and love it too, and I'd be standing next to you. We'd be unstoppable, unbreakable right now. 'Cause you're the last light in the sky, the proof I never can deny that life is beautiful somehow. If I could guide 1,000 dreams, if I could live in things unseen, if I could fly, something sparkles in the night, darkness flees before the light, stars drop back and I regain my sight. Live my life and love it too, and I'd be standing next to you. We'd be unstoppable, unbreakable right now. 'Cause you're the last light in the sky, proof I never can deny. Life is beautiful somehow. This is my soul, constantly searching for something that can come true.